Welcome to the BXG Podcast, the podcast where pop culture and nerd culture meet.
You think it's just going to be barbecue sauce?
Because if you actually read those books, it's just gobbledygook.
I really think clothes should be mandatory.
Speaking of Star Wars,
Captain America.
trailer reaction video. Welcome to a BXG Productions, a BXG Gamescast. I am one of your hosts, the Alpha guy, Brett Bestwick, alongside my co-hosts, Charles D. Is it D? J?
D. I mean, you can call me whatever you want, baby.
Charles D. Chambers, and the D is for Death Stranding too. Charles.
Oh, Kojima! Sorry.
It sounded like an anime.
Well, I mean,
Ooh,
oh, Kojima-san! Yeah, I'm down.
All right, we just lost our weeb audience.
Yeah, all three of them.
How's it going?
It's going all right, man. Just a lot going on in the gaming world with the Game Awards out. Really long show. Like it was getting a little long in the tooth there at the end. I was like, let's go ahead and start wrapping this up. And you could thank
Christopher Judge.
Chris Judge.
Judge for his hour-and-a-half long acceptance speech.
Did not care about the wrap-up music.
Just start the wrap-up music.
Just going to talk louder.
I think I got thanked. Speech. I think
you probably did.
Yeah. That was and I think that was the first award too of the night.
Oh, it was right off the bat.
Yeah. With Al Pacino.
Yeah. But we'll get to that. For sure.
Yes, we will. I don't think that we really are going to touch too deeply on the awards themselves. We could talk about Game of the Year, which, we gave our predictions. I think we both landed on, after the discussion, Elden Ring, which it ended up being Elden Ring.
Yep.
And some of the other things, maybe not huge surprises. It just seemed like this was, and I think you had mentioned this on our predictions episode, where it felt like if Elden Ring or Ragnarok was nominated in that category, it was gonna win. And so I felt as though, this was just kind of a victory lap for those two games, while also showing off a lot. Probably in terms of announcements, release dates, teases, updated trailers, probably the biggest Game Awards that we've had in several years. And I think that part of the reason is because when the hose got coiled up during COVID, it's now getting released. And I think that not only the Game Awards, but I know the DICE Awards are going to be coming up, and there's going to be some stuff there. Xbox and PlayStation and Nintendo will all have their respective state of play showcases, directs, what have you.
Yep.
E3 in some capacity will be back this year. I think it's all on the line though.
Unfortunate.
And just all sorts of other stuff. But I think that there's not going to be any showcase or any direct state of play announcements, whatever, where there's not going to be one or two bangers. And you can kind of see from these release dates that 2023 is going to be a very, very crowded year from pretty much stem to stern. But I think what we'll do is we'll get into some of the announcements that were a little bit smaller. I didn't include every announcement because some of them were mobile games or whatever, and I just don't see that as being really viable for our discussion.
You got to say, though, this is probably an overall look. This is probably one of the better Game Award shows that's in recent memory, for sure.
Yeah, and I think like a real game won Game of the Year, not like Untitled Goose Game.
Right. I mean, fuck you, man. Untitled Goose Game is great.
Is that an Annapurna game?
Yeah. Yes. I want to say yes. I'm probably wrong. But no, like stem to stern, I thought this was like just hit after hit after hit. And there's, like you said, a lot of these games, all of a sudden you're like, wow, this looks amazing. And all of a sudden it's middle 2023. It's not middle 2024 or even further out.
Right.
This is right around the corner in terms of gaming community lifespan. These development cycles are being much more lenient now. Like you said, COVID's up. People are working back in the office, getting things done, wrapped up, and you're really seeing the fruits of that now. 2023 is going to be tight for gaming.
Yeah. Yes, it is. House developed Untitled Goose Game, published by Panic Inc.
God,
it just seems like an Annapurna game. All right. So I think we can kind of probably blitz through some of these smaller things before we get into the meat and potatoes. And this is quite the stew as far as meat and potatoes. Dead Cells, which is several years old at this point, if I'm not mistaken.
A lot of updates, a lot of content updates, a lot of content in the game now. So to see Dead Cells get a crossover with Castlevania, dude, that's exciting.
I'm not a Dead Cells. I haven't played Dead Cells, but I am a Castlevania guy, big time. So
I mean, you like Symphony of the Night?
It's one of the best 5 games ever made.
Then you're probably going to get a little bit of enjoyment out of this. Then,
yeah, I'm thinking. Might have to check it out. Don't Nod, which is the French studio behind the indie hit Life is Strange, showed off their new IP, Banisher's Ghost of New Eden. Any thoughts here?
I mean, Life is Strange was fun with the right audience and stuff. Wasn't for me. A little bit slow.
Right.
Couldn't get into it, kind of thing. But it was quality. That's not to detract from how good the game was. It just wasn't for me. So I'm excited to see what these guys come up with. Different IP, different direction, kind of just something fresh, new. So yeah, I'll definitely keep an eye on it.
Banisher's Ghosts of New Eden. What a name.
That's like a high school teen angst wet dream of a name. It's like an ad lib.
Yeah. Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh,
Windows release August 2023. So that's like right around the corner.
Lorien Studios, Divinity Original Sin 1 or 2. Ever play any of those?
No, I think I feel like I watched you stream Divinity.
Oh God, it's so good. Just classic RPG. Like they're so good at what they do. So the fact that they're getting a crack at Baldur's Gate has me super amped. It's a very quality studio.
Baldur's Gate is also a name.
Yes.
Like that's a well-known
brand,
sort of CRPG brand from back in the day. Modified Dungeons and Dragons sort of roles, and one of those games that popularized the genre and sort of paved the way for games like Pillars of Eternity.
Yeah,
and whatnot.
Yep.
So it'll be a big one for you fucking PC nerds. You. Speaking of PC nerds, Last of Us Part 1 remaster and Returnal are headed to the PC. If you've somehow been living under a rock for the last 10 years and haven't picked up The Last of Us Part 1 in any of its available masters and remasters and remakes.
I think it came out for the Virtual Boy last year.
For the Virtual Boy?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Remember the Nintendo headset with all the red?
Yeah, I remember it. Yes.
Yeah.
There was a game, here we go on one of our tangents, but there was a game recently that I heard of that it's being published on everything. Like all the new, I don't remember the game. I would have to look it up.
Okay.
It's published on like PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series machines, Switch, but then randomly it's getting an actual cartridge that you can buy for your for an NES.
Oh, there's a couple of like smaller companies that'll do that. They'll do like a limited edition cartridge, like a working Nintendo cartridge or Sega Genesis cartridge.
That's actually cool. Really dope.
Yeah. Yeah, I am down for that.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like the problem is you only have 2 buttons with the NES, so it would have to be something simple. But I do feel like there's probably a handful of games that you could do that with and they'd be just fine. You know what I mean? And you have that kind of piece of history. The next one I thought is is funny more than anything else.
Okay.
The
Mm-hmm.
Lords of the Fallen, which is a reboot 9,000 years into the future of the canonical story of 2016's Lords of the Fallen.
Yes.
The Lords of the Fallen, sequel to Lords of the Fallen.
So what did we learn? To be more specific about what we're talking about, this is the Lords of the Fallen. Not
Somewhere.
just any Lords of the Fallen. It's the specific one. This is great. Listen, this game had a cult following when it came out. It's been free on everything. I think it's been on free PlayStation Plus like 28 times.
Yeah.
Like but it's actually an okay game.
It's a Souls-like, right?
Yeah, it's a Souls-like, and it really just a cult following. Like, that's probably the best thing I could say for it. Like, it had some really redeeming qualities, but like the gameplay was probably what was lacking the most. Like, the environment was cool, the story was all right, like it had a lot to build off of. So I'm actually kind of excited about this. I was kind of stoked to see it.
Two statements and a question.
Yeah, hit me up.
Statement number one, you said the gameplay is lacking.
Yeah,
I mean, gameplay is king. So
I mean, that's you, okay? Like, I'm just saying, it wasn't a great game. It wasn't critically acclaimed. It was fine.
Was it regular acclaimed?
It was like mediocre acclaimed. It was
Okay.
like if you have professionally acclaimed, this was like
Semi-amateur, semi-pro acclaimed.
Yeah, semi-pro claim.
Like this name thing, it just reminds me of somewhere Vanilla Ice is just still trying to explain why he didn't rip off Queen. It's just like there's a symbol at the end. You hear the symbol.
I mean,
That's what I get.
The Last of Us is not original enough, and they just put part 1, part 2, part 3 until you stop buying it eventually.
Never.
Right.
I will never stop buying it. It's like Skyrim.
Limited ultra mega edition.
Do you remember when they said, like, I can't remember if it was Pete Hines was joking. He was like, yeah, we're gonna put it on Alexa. I was like, or like your refrigerator. Like, I'd buy Alexa on Last of Us. Now my question, is that velour? Are you wearing velour right now? Your sweatshirt, is that velour?
I'm gonna say yes, just for the clout.
Okay, well then, follow-up question, where's your fancy hat with the feather in it?
It's in the back. I can't out pimp the host.
Right.
Like, I got to make sure I stay in my lane.
Hard out here for a pimp. Here's one that I am irrationally excited for, if only because of the cast attached. Crime Boss Rockaway City, a stealth-based FPS starring Chuck Norris, Michael Madsen, Danny Trejo, Danny Glover, Kim Basinger, and Vanilla Ice. I think there's somebody else in there too.
Michael Madsen came out for this announcement, did he not?
I don't know. Good.
That
was one of those, like we had said, that, you know, they're going to get like Ludacris to come out and do it.
He was one of the guys from Kill Bill, right?
Yeah, he's in Kill Bill. He's a Bud.
Okay, yeah, then it was him. I couldn't remember his name.
Volume 2, and then he is Mr. Oh, he's Mr. Something in Reservoir Dogs. He's the one that cuts the cop's ear off and then douses him.
Yeah.
Mr. Blonde.
Yes.
Mr. Blonde, yeah.
So if I'm not mistaken, this game is being made by 505 Studios. That was my holdup. That was exactly. Thank you. That was my thing. I was like, man, this looks kind of cool. Man, okay. Is that Chuck Norris? Okay, cool. Danny Trejo? Cool. 505 Studios. And I'm like, But they're clearly shelling out a lot of money for Vanilla Ice time. So
are they?
Hey, if you got a problem, I'll solve it. But anyway, I don't know. It's hard for me to get excited about this. I want to. The trailer looked cool. If you watch the trailer, it looked neat for what it was. I don't think it showed any gameplay though. So
do you know what it feels like to me?
Yeah.
So like you say 505, and now all I can think of is jank. And so it just kind of feels like a janky, maybe like a janky death loop.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
But the jank still kind of makes it fun in the same way that the jank in like Just Cause makes it fun.
Or Saints Row.
Yeah, Saints Row. Not so much the new one.
No.
Hellboy.
Yes.
Hellboy will get a game.
Really, that's all you got, right? So it's in the art style by and excuse me for not remembering his name, the original comic book artist.
Is that Frank Miller? That's not Frank Miller, is it?
No,
Hellboy's I don't know.
I can't remember the comic artist name, but it's in the art style of that. So when you're watching the trailer, I thought for sure, I was like, this is going to be like a Telltale game, because no way they're going to have like an action game with this art style. But from what you see in the trailer, it looks like you see a little bit of gameplay, and it does look like an actual action game with free movement and combat and stuff like that in that art style. Definitely something I'm keeping an eye on, because it is very visually appealing, and I like Hellboy.
Mike Mignola.
Mick Mignola, yes.
The
art style is very distinct. And,
Dark Horse Comics.
Yes. So definitely something to keep an eye on. Hellboy deserves a good game. I like Hellboy. I don't think he's gotten.
Did you see the movies?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
All three?
Yes.
Better Hellboy, Perlman or Harbor?
Perlman.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, Perlman.
He's got that cast iron jaw, man.
Yeah.
It's just like you could just take his skull and just throw his jaw at somebody and knock them out.
Yes.
A new Bayonetta spinoff titled Bayonetta Origins Cereza and the Lost Demon. Is this like, are we just like names out of a bag? Like just put all the words?
Yeah.
Seriously. Okay.
Yeah.
It will.
If I'm not mistaken, not to interrupt you, if I'm not mistaken, the crowd actually booed when they saw this.
Good.
Or there was like some rumblings, like some groans, like,
well, there was a lot. I know Bayonetta was nominated for some things and maybe won. Yeah, I think it won something.
Yeah, won Best Action Game.
Okay.
Well, it's either that or Call of Duty.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, because there's no action in Elden Ring. We already had that conversation.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, watch the last episode.
Like, subscribe, share.
Mm-hmm.
March 17th, 2023. And this is kind of, we're going to get into some of these release dates here. Mm-hmm. March 17th, 2023.
And it's a pixelated game. If anybody who didn't see it, it's not like your normal Bayonetta. This is something completely out of the mold. It's a top-down pixel art, kind of very colorful. It's supposed to be a prequel to when she becomes Bayonetta.
Right.
So it's a little bit more artsy, a little bit more flowery, a little bit more colorful, but I don't know. We'll see.
Indie darling Celeste developer Extremely OK Games, I love that name, revealed its next project, Earthblade. Again, just it's like a dartboard with words. With an eye towards a 2024 release date, Earthblade, because Earthbound was taken.
Did you play Celeste?
No, but I want to.
Celeste is great for what it is. It's very great.
I like platformers.
And it seems like Earthblade, I know you didn't play Celeste, but it seems like Earthblade's going to kind of follow in the path of this, but with combat. Okay. It looked like in the trailer there was some combat going on, so gotcha. I think that'll be a part of it. Celeste really didn't have anything like that. It was all platforming and movement. So maybe just a little bit of an evolution for the studio to add something like combat in.
That can't be a big team.
No, I don't think it is at all.
No. I wonder how many. Warhammer 40,000 Space Mariner 2.
40K, game. By the way, before you get absolutely demolished by the fanboys.
Okay.
40,000. Who said it? God, you old man. No, I am low-key extremely excited for this. I've always wanted to get into Warhammer 40K lore, but that is a super deep, slippery rabbit hole. Hopefully somebody listening can give me like a crash course or point me in the right direction, because I want to get into it, because it's a super interesting setting and lore. And Space Marine is this is like the chance for Warhammer 40K to actually have a good game. Like Warhammer 40K has so many games, but it's so rare for that one of them to be good. And I'm hopeful that this is good.
I can probably give you a great lore background on Warhammer 40,000. Crash Team Rumble. 4v4 fighting arrive in 2023.
Why?
We have enough mascot platformers.
I mean, why?
Platform brawlers.
Yeah, why?
Is this
I mean, I don't know.
It feels like Tekken Tag Tournament meets Smash.
Or Multiverses,
yeah, which is, yeah. Did you play that at all?
Dabbled in it.
Yeah, me too.
It was fun for what it is.
Yeah. I'm going to jump around here to a couple of the other smaller ones before we get into kind of the bigger things. There was another Mario trailer. It looks so good.
The more I see it, the more I get hyped for it. The more they show, I'm like, yes.
And I'm like, it looks so good that I kind of don't care that Mario is just going to sound like Star-Lord.
It just looks like one of those movies that's just going to be a fun watch. If you don't think too much about it and you just take it for what it is, popcorn summer flick, just
right.
Yeah, for sure.
In the continuance of Idris Elba doing just weird whatever the hell he wants things, he will be joining the cast of Cyberpunk 2077's expansion Phantom Library. I love Idris Elba.
Yes.
But he does the weirdest shit.
I think that's kind of his appeal, right? That's for me. It is. It's like I'll be watching something or even something animated or something. I'll be like, is that him? And then I'll have to look it up, and it is. He does a little bit of everything.
Yeah, he's a supremely talented actor who takes roles in movies where he is the only thing that makes them watchable. And if you would like some evidence of that, you can check out our review for the movie Beast. Moving on here, I think that wraps up all the kind of the smaller stuffs. Okay. April 19th, we'll see Aloy travel to the Burning Shores in the PS5 exclusive DLC for Horizon Forbidden West titled The Burning Shores.
So you got to think Horizon did pretty well, right? So you got to think about it. They're getting pretty big DLC support. They're getting the VR game.
Yep.
Which is going to be a VR launch game, if I'm not mistaken, given the
that was shown as well. I just
didn't
include it.
Yes. And your boy got one pre-ordered.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still back and forth on if I'll actually get it or not. Speaking about the VR, but DLC, it's just going to be more. It's just going to be more Aloy. I mean, if you like it before, you're probably going to like this. Not really much else to say about it, except it's in California.
Yeah. Well, Forbidden West wasn't part of that San Francisco.
Probably. Yeah.
So this is just going to
Hollywood. Excuse me, it's Hollywood. They had the sign breakdown and stuff, so this is in Hollywood.
Yeah.
For what that's worth.
Tangent, real quick. Yeah. I don't put a ton of stock into these things per se, but I do think that the data garnered over a large period of gathering data, IGN did the top 10, or they did the most popular PlayStation brand character, right? Okay. And they did a top 10, and then they did a bottom 10. And the top 10, I don't remember exactly the top 10, but number 1 was Kratos. Okay, maybe a little bit of recency bias here. It was right when Ragnarok was releasing. Number 2 was Drake, Nathan, not the rapper. Number 3 was Joel Miller. Okay, do you know who was not on the list of top 10?
Who?
Aloy. And that says to me that that gives me a little bit of concern, because they are putting so much into the Horizon basket.
Let me ask you this. not to sidetrack you here, and I hate to
Not
be
to
like
sidetrack the sidetrack.
Yeah, some say the back roads, if you will. Do you think it's because this is Sony's big only female lead?
It's not. Ellie was the lead of The Last of Us Part 2.
Well, that's shared spotlight.
Is it?
I don't know. I just feel like this is a big push for Aloy because it's hitting a niche. It's like hitting a sweet spot for them that other games and IPs don't cover.
I really like the world of Horizon. I really
I love
like
it.
the gameplay of her shooting shit off these machines and setting traps and all that. The gameplay loop is fun. The world is beautiful in Forbidden West. It's not, for me, it's not that she is like, oh, it's a strong woman lead. It's not, that's not it. It's just her.
Yeah.
It's like her voice annoys me. And the problem
Ashley
problem
Burch is
is
a delight, by the way.
well, yeah,
How
I'm
dare
sure she
you?
is. I'm sure she is.
We're gonna have to get her on the show.
That'd be great. But and I think this is maybe less of an Aloy thing and more of a like a design philosophy thing, but she never shuts up. And like I'm trying to figure out puzzles and she's just telling me how to figure them out.
Well, God of War had that problem too. That makes me think if it's more of like an accessibility thing.
Yeah, maybe, but I personally haven't had that issue with God of War.
Oh, I have.
Really?
Oh, God. Yeah. As soon as I turn away from like where I'm supposed to be looking, it's like, well, you should shut this thing over here. And or what that thing looks weird. And it's like, man, shut up. I'm looking around.
Oh, maybe you're just bad at puzzles then.
Yeah, I am. I very much am. Call me out.
But I don't know. It's just like I just from the first game, from Zero Dawn, I just kind of felt like she was a bit of a wet blanket. And so my hope is with all of these disparate projects that they have going on, that it's gonna be more about that world and that universe versus that character, because I just don't think that people are particularly interested in her as a character.
So do you think they'll move on from her, like keep the universe, keep the Horizon world, and have a new?
Well, I don't think Call of the Mountain is her, is it? I think you're some other character, and I think that this game that they've been teasing that they're working on with, I believe it's a Korean studio, maybe it's a Chinese studio, to do like multiplayer games as a service thing. I don't think that, you know, she won't be the focus. Like maybe she pops up as like a quest giver or some nonsense, but
yeah,
you know, but
my problem isn't Aloy. My problem is it's a really nice game held back by the Assassin's Creed formula.
Yeah, that too.
Like it's awesome. Like all that stuff is awesome. Like the combat's awesome. The crafting on the go, like it's very fluid combat. The world's beautiful, but it's an Assassin's Creed game at the end of the day.
Well, with better combat.
Oh, much better combat.
Much better combat. Yeah, but the map, you know.
Yeah.
Check. That's a lot of open world games. Checkbox.
Yeah,
it
is.
Checkbox.
It
checkbox.
is.
Even Ragnarok to an
extent, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. I'm gonna take these two next ones kind of at the same time. Street Fighter 6, June 2nd, 23. Tekken 8 new character trailer, no release date.
Still think they're aiming for 2023 though for Tekken 8.
Yeah,
but no solid release date. Fighting game community's in a frenzy.
Yeah,
they're eating this stuff up. You know, your boy at the heart of the fighting game community. Not really. No. With what they're doing with Street Fighter, looks cool. They're going back more to like a hip hop kind of urban feel, which I always kind of enjoyed.
Is DJ the main character?
No, but he's in it. That's it. I mean, that's actually what the trailer was. They'll show it also. Yeah, but look at you segueing. And then Tekken 8 looks great. I don't think there was any gameplay in that trailer though.
No, I think it was strictly like
cinematic and stuff.
Cinematic, yeah. Here,
but you got to think, as far as like big name releases for the fighting game community, like your probably last big release,
King of Fighter. Well, the fighting game community is weird because they are well, I shouldn't say weird. That's not the right word. They are so hardcore. And I think a lot of people look at like Warzone, Fortnite, Call of Duty in general, Apex, some of these shooters as like, man, they're really hardcore. They don't hold a candle to the fighting game community.
Fighting game community is amazing. And fighting game community is ride or die. Like if you treat the fighting game community well, you're going to sell your copy of the game like crazy. So I think
Guilty Gear.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Guilty
King
Gear
of the Fighters,
even the Power Rangers fighting game did very well, like for considering what it is. So these are huge announcements for this genre, and people are eating it up. I'm excited. I will definitely check them out.
I think too that neither of these games are console exclusive. But the Evo community, which is where Street Fighter lives, is synonymous with PlayStation at this point. I mean, they own it. So even though these are not console exclusives, and Tekken as well, not a console exclusive, but Tekken and PlayStation go hand in hand. I mean, back since the PS1. And so even though these are not console exclusives, I do think that a very, very large portion of their sales are going to come on the Sony side of things. Okay. How about Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League will arrive May 26th, and they announced that the legendary Kevin Conroy had finished recording his lines for the famed Cape Crusader, and it will represent his last time donning the cape and cowl. So awesome that we get one more go around with Kevin Conroy. Many people, I've heard it, excuse me, fake news.
That's delightfully good.
Many people consider him to be, the best Batman. So very cool to see him. Any expectations for this game, considering that Gotham Knights didn't do so hot? Sold well, but critically
no, not the greatest, right? The more I see about it, the more interested I'm in. I can't say I'm excited, because in the trailer that was announcing that Kevin Conroy was doing the voice, the trailer at the Game Awards, it's kind of dark. I mean, I won't give it away if you haven't seen it, but it's like got some messed up stuff going on in it. Like, so that kind of piques my interest a little bit. And also, I got to imagine this kind of puts a lot of pressure to make this game good, because there's going to be a lot of eyes on it now that this is going to be Mr. Conroy's last piece of work. I feel like that's going to get the ire of the community really upset and really venomous if this game doesn't perform well.
I have higher hopes for this because this is Rocksteady proper.
Yes.
And
that's also
Gotham
true.
Knights was WB Montreal.
Yes.
And WB Montreal did an Arkham game, Arkham Origins, that was by all accounts not bad, but also not good enough to be included in any of the Arkham collections.
Yeah, it was fine.
Yeah.
It was fine.
Yeah, but that is like, all the Arkham games in one place. Well,
except for that one that we don't necessarily talk about.
We just treat it like the bastard child.
Oh.
Diablo 4 will release on June 6th, allegedly.
First off, that's not going to happen, I don't think. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll hold out hope for that. But I'm a huge loot grind nerd. Path of Exile, Diablo, hell, Torchlight was good. All that stuff I'm all for. So I hope this is good. I hope it's not the bastardization that Diablo 3 was. Trailer's fire though. You can always count on Blizzard to make a bomb trailer for something, bomb cinematics. And this one's no different. I loved it. So enough to get me hyped for it.
Hang on a second. I'm doing a little bit of fact checking.
Oh no. A little bit of research right off the rip here.
Yeah. I gotta get rid of this cough. Okay. Diablo 2. June 28th, the year 2000.
Okay.
Diablo 3 was I just had it up. May 15th, 2012.
Okay.
And now June 6th, 2023. I think that Blizzard is like I don't know, man. They're like the James Cameron of
It's that
games
12-year
here.
dev cycle, man.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you what, Diablo 3, 12 years in between Diablo 2 for it to be released in the state that it was, totally unacceptable.
No, for
And
sure.
doesn't give me super high hopes for Diablo 4. Correct me if I'm wrong. Diablo 4 lost its director like last year, right?
Yes, they did lose
Or
its
the year
director. I don't know
before?
if it was in the last year, but they definitely did. Yeah.
Yeah, this game doesn't have a
Really,
snowball's
no hopes
chance in
for this
hell.
at all.
No, but I'm Ching hell. Okay, Star Wars Jedi Survivor gets a March 17th release date and new trailer.
Looks
This one's
good.
obviously will tickle my fancy.
Looks great. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
it
got to
looks
be excited about this.
smooth.
Yeah,
Looks smooth.
yes.
More than anything, that's 60 FPS, man.
I'm excited to see where this series is going, where this kind of side story goes, and kind of how it pans out.
They have to be really careful.
Oh yeah,
with how they interact with canon characters,
existing stories,
and I thought that they did a
tiptoe.
good job in the first game of putting you around characters who have had a presence, and then but not making them too big part of the story. The ending though in that game, holy shit, that's a great ending in a game.
It was. Is this story canon? Has anybody mentioned that?
I think it is technically, yeah.
Okay.
Because Disney's who's like, it's EA, it's Respawn and it's EA, but it's contractual with Disney and Lucas. So I think that these games are meant to be canon, yes.
Okay. Yeah, that gets me even more excited.
So with that being said, there looked to be in the trailer, maybe, I mean, there was definitely one snippet of him flying. Cal Kestis flying the ship. So I'm hopeful that that's maybe an area that they expand upon in this game, is maybe a little bit of like dogfighting or space combat. Nothing like too out of control. I mean, there's games for that. You can do that in Battlefront. You can do that in Star Wars Squadrons, but maybe a little, something like on rails, some kind of on rails thing or whatever.
Well, what's exciting about this is the first game's so good. Like, you already got the backbone there. It's almost like you know what you're getting. It's going to be quality. You feel like, unless they just screw the pooch somehow. But they've already have a successful game there. Just build off of it. That's all you got to do. And so it's at least going to be that good, if not better.
And this was March 17th. And I'm going to be honest with you that I feel like this game getting a March 17th release date is probably bad news for the likes of some other early Q1 games, like maybe Hogwarts Legacy.
You think it would? Nah, I think that's a different audience.
I don't.
Really?
I think that the Venn diagram of Star Wars and Star Wars nerds and Harry Potter nerds is probably not quite totally overlapping, but pretty close to it.
Just so you know, we're not recording for your OnlyFans right now. That's after the show, so you need to keep that to yourself, sir.
Right, that whole thing.
God, that's deep.
The proven commodity of Jedi Fallen Order with a solid team, Respawn, Apex, Titanfall. Like they make good games, right?
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Hogwarts, everything I've seen looks pretty good. Avalanche.
wah, wah. But it's, I don't know, man.
I mean, this
People can
isn't a
turn it
toys to
around.
life game, you know?
Yeah, but I don't know. Avalanche did Just Cause, right?
No, that's a different Avalanche. There's
Oh, that's
Avalanche and
not the
there's
same.
Avalanche games. Yeah, no. No.
Oh, well then never mind. I was going to make a point, but
Let me backtrack here ever so slightly. Avalanche Studios group made Just Cause, the Mad Max game, which I think is actually criminally underrated.
oh, it's so good.
Some others, and then there's Avalanche Software, which is in Salt Lake, and that is who developed bangers such as Rampage 2, Universal Tour, Rampage Through Time, Chicken Little, Meet the Robinsons, Toy Story 3. It's not bad. Disney
Oh,
Infinity, Hannah Montana Spotlight World Tour, Bolt the
okay.
Game,
Okay. All
Chicken
right.
Little Ace in Action, Rugrats Royal
Holy
Ransom.
shit. So quite a murderer's row of awesome games.
I just don't understand how, if you're Warner, because this is a Warner thing, right? Avalanche was purchased by Warner Interactive. Okay. I'm Warner, right? And I've got this Harry Potter license.
Golden ticket
Right.
of
It's
license.
it's just a giant turd meant to be polished, a giant golden turd. We just got to polish it up. Why in the hell wouldn't you hand this off to Rocksteady? I get that they're making the Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, but don't you think they maybe want to play in a different sandbox than Batman for a while?
Yeah. And I mean, at this point, given that list of games, I feel like Rocksteady's janitors would probably do better.
Yeah. I mean, Disney Interactive sold Avalanche because they made Disney Infinity, and that was obviously a banger.
Yeah, that was God, that was rough. Oh, that was so bad. So I mean, yeah, I get it.
Monolith didn't
Oh yeah,
Monolith make the
I forgot
shadow,
about
like
Monolith.
the Shadow of the War games, or the Lord of the Rings games?
Yes,
Is that not? Yeah.
yeah, which were great.
Feel like there's options here that aren't Rugrats Road to Ransom or whatever it's
Maybe
called.
maybe we'll be surprised. Maybe we'll
Yeah,
be surprised, but I don't know. I don't know. Like you said, I don't know if they're going to cannibalize each other. I think they're different games.
it's a busy time, right? It's just, this is the
Yes.
thing is, and this is where it's going to come to a head, because we're going to when we're all done with this, we're going to look back and see just the things that are slated for end of May, June.
Yeah.
Because it's crazy.
Yeah,
Okay?
it's a lot.
And I feel like there's games in Q1 where it's like, if I'm me and I know that I can spend $70 on 2 games, then I'm definitely getting Jedi. And I'm probably getting like MLB The Show. And I'll wait for Hogwarts to be on sale. I think that Hogwarts will sell a lot of copies.
Yeah.
If it does well critically. But I think that it'll sell a lot of copies on sale. I think it will sell a lot of $40 copies, a lot of $30 copies. I wouldn't be surprised to see this game get discounted quickly. But we'll see. I could be wrong, and I'd be happy to be wrong, because I do want to play this game and I hope it's great.
Yeah.
Because I'm a Harry Potter nerd guy. The Venn diagram.
Lame.
Hey man, nerd culture. Let's see what else we have on the docket here. I feel like this one's for you. From Software returns to his roots and announces Armored Core 6 releasing sometime in 2023.
Yeah. Yeah, this is so there's some press releases that came out for this. The trailer was great. FromSoft is going to take a stab at it. And I really think, from what I've read and what I've seen, that they're going to make this into like a Souls-like mech game. and I'm down. Yeah, fuck me up with it. Like it's just Armored Core has really dropped off within definitely the past like two iterations of it. Like Armored Core used to be like a very hallowed series, and then it just kind of got pushed to the bargain bin as
Mhm.
far as like who developed the game, who worked on the game, and just quality. So to get somebody like FromSoft to really work on it, and this is coming from the team that made Sekiro, not Miyazaki himself. This is
Okay.
coming from the B team, I guess you could say. Which Sekiro was good. I enjoyed Sekiro for what it was. So
Did you beat it?
I'm very excited for this. I hope FromSoft really puts their fingers into it and makes it their own in that universe, giggity. And yeah, were you not an Armored Core guy?
Front. I was more of a front mission guy
Of course you were.
when it
That's
comes to
something
the
a front
mechs.
mission guy would say. What a joke.
That I am a front mission guy. It is something a front mission guy would say.
Lame. Yeah, front mission was okay. It was
Yeah.
fine. But Armored Core, man, I wanted to reclaim that glory. You know, it's
Sure.
such an
Yeah.
old franchise.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. What is dead may live again, sort of deal. Speaking of things that were dead and may live again, Ken Levine, creator of the BioShock series, debuts his new game, Judas. No release window given.
How could a video game fan not be excited about this?
So I've got some bad news.
You're like, well, actually,
BioShock is a big hole in my my encyclopedia of games played.
that's unfortunate.
And I have them.
Yeah.
And I started the first one and I got maybe like 15 minutes in and was just like, I'm not feeling this right now. I'll get back to it. And then I never got back to it.
Oh,
But here's what I'll say is this trailer got me feeling excited for this game, which makes me want to go back and play those games.
yes. And
The
don't let
issue-
anybody lie to you. BioShock Infinite's great.
The issue is I've heard 2's the one that's not super great because
It's fine.
I don't know
It's definitely the weakest link.
He's not involved with it. Ken Levine. I think he's
Who?
only Ken Levine.
Yeah.
2. Yeah, 2.
Yeah.
I think he's only 1 in Infinite, right?
Yes. I think you're right.
It's just that I can't clone myself.
There's only so many hours in a day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's only so many hours, and
And that's a great series to revisit. Honestly,
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of, I'll probably get some flack for this, but if you just make one time for one game, I would stick with Infinite. I mean, if you can kind of get a brisk overview of BioShock 1 and 2, but Infinite's very good.
Yeah. Well, I'd like to play all of them, honestly.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 16 got a new trailer and a release date. The trailer titled Revenge focused around boss fights and summons. It looked very pretty, obviously. I don't think that we really saw much of anything of substance.
I mean, there was a little bit of HUD-less gameplay there.
Yeah, and I think I'm ready to be done seeing things about this game. I don't want to see anything else because, number one, despite all we've seen, I have a good grasp of maybe what the narrative is, but I have very limited understanding of how this game actually plays.
Right.
So that's kind of frustrating. I'm going to play it regardless. I mean,
I think for a normal person, you've already made up your mind if you're going to play this or not.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any more they can show that it's going to convince somebody who's on the other side of the fence. Right. You know if you're going to play this or not.
Yeah.
The trailer was stunning. It was very good.
Yeah, it's very pretty.
The scale was great. Also, you got the head of Final Fantasy 14 working on this. His name escapes me.
It's not Yoshi P, is it?
Yoshi P. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. He says stuff that he shouldn't say a lot.
He's fun. He's definitely fun. So he's heading this project, which makes me excited. Because as we all know, he brought Final Fantasy 14 back from
the absolute
life support.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of excited for him to get like a true AAA single player Final Fantasy game of his own.
Has he not um been other than 14?
I think he's worked on other Final Fantasies, but I don't know if he's been the head of other Final Fantasies.
Dragon Quest,
Yes.
working for the arcades. He currently helmed Dragon Quest Monster Battle Road. I'm sure that's dynamite. Trying to look here, see some of these other things. They spent a year working on this game with extremely similar Bloodborne. Oh, was he in charge of that Strangers of Paradise nonsense? He wasn't on that, was he?
No.
Here I got his
No.
I got it. No, okay. He's the producer on 16. He's not the director.
Right.
He was the director on several Shadowbringers, Endwalker,
Hmm.
Stormblood,
Oh yeah, all of 14 stuff.
Heaven's Word, Realm Reborn,
Yep.
blah blah blah. Final Fantasy 14 director, Monster Battle, blah, blah. Yeah, nope.
I mean that's it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I'm
he's a cool
excited.
dude though. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. He does very well. I mean, I guess obviously with you leading an MMO, he does very well with the community.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of back and forth and stuff like that. So
Oh my goodness. He released 3 books titled Yoshida Uncensored. I can only imagine what
that
those.
has to be a good read.
Yeah, because he's known for saying wild shit in the media.
Yes.
Over there. Okay, so that's Final Fantasy 16. Like I said, that trailer's called Revenge. You can check that out on the YouTubes. Last 2 announcements are both pretty big ones. Supergiant Games announces its first sequel, Hades 2, with early access coming in 2023. The trailer was heavily animated. I don't know if you would call that an anime or like an anime style, but got some
it looked just like
gameplay. It looks
Hades.
crisp. Yeah, it looks
Yeah,
maybe a little bit more crisp.
Yeah, and
But-
it's just more Hades. How could anybody be upset about that? Hades came out of nowhere.
Right.
Hell, I think it was a Switch exclusive for a while.
Might have been. Yeah.
And yeah, Hades is great. Good. I mean, really good for Supergiant. Like this is definitely their golden goose now. I hate that it's just Hades 2. Like I wanted maybe I wanted a little bit more.
Because even the narrative suggests that they're fighting like Kronos, who is a titan in Greek mythology rather than a god.
Yes.
So it is kind of interesting. I don't know. We'll see, but kind of just
the female protagonist too, I think.
Universe, yes, female protagonist. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. So more Hades, different weapons, different enemy. I mean, it's just more of the same. So I'm excited.
They are, I would say, and I haven't played Pyre. I have it, but I haven't played it. But they are sort of this animated, sprite-based, just isometric top-down.
Mm-hmm.
Like nobody does it better.
I mean, they've really found their calling doing stuff like that, and they're really good at it. Yeah, Hades is definitely worth the time.
The ace in the hole, and I called it in our predictions.
You did.
I got 2 out of 3. I got 1.5 out of 3 right.
You know how many I got right?
0. Yep. Oh, sad panda.
It is.
Death Stranding 2 was announced from Kojima. No release date, no window given. The auteur stated he took time to rewrite the story as to not predict the future like he did with the first game and the pandemic. He's just, oh man, I bet you his shit must smell like just like the Louvre's gardens.
I mean, the pressure that this man has, that he knows that any word he pens to paper or programs into a game comes true. I mean, the burden That must be. Listen, I love Kojima though.
Yeah, me too.
I do. Like he's so. I actually follow him on Twitter.
Me
Like
too.
like a douchebag.
No, I
But,
do too.
Oh,
He's
okay.
he's like James Cameron without the douchiness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that's a weird way to put it. But yeah, so Norman Reedus is back.
Yep.
As
Looking
it
a little
looks
gray.
like.
Looking a little bit like a gray beard.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit of frosty there. A little bit of salt and pepper going on. I mean, does a Death Stranding fan want this to be more Death Stranding? More delivery man simulator connecting America, preventing an apocalypse, being a UPS guy?
With a name that is just a bad pun.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Now it's like, for me, here's the thing with Kojima with this game. Death Stranding as a story, like if it was a book,
Yeah.
banger. That would be
Right.
an amazing story. But it's like, it's almost like he had this idea for a story and it's like, I got to put it in a game somehow.
I got to make a game. Yeah.
I got to make a game out of it.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was the back burner.
I'm really, really excited for when we get the Netflix series Death Stranding starring Norman Reedus.
I'd watch it.
It's gonna happen. I bet your bottom dollar.
I'm surprised that they showed this and not whatever Xbox thing he's working on.
Yeah, me too. But I think maybe the name recognition. But here's the thing: this game's 5 years away.
Oh yeah,
and we will
Kojima
see it.
Is anything, this game is not coming out till 2030.
And we will see it 30 more times between now and then.
Yeah, if Jeff Keighley has anything to say about it, we will.
And
he will
does.
Shove it down our throats.
And he does. Next year there will be a trailer with Guillermo del Toro and James Cameron. I'm on a James Cameron thing lately. Anyway,
or George R.R. Martin working on it.
Yeah, George Lucas. Let's get him in there.
Oh yeah.
Okay. That was all the big announcements. I think we now will take a little bit of time to grade the big three, starting with Nintendo. The Big N had some nice moments, specifically continuing to show the Mario movie to great fanfare, announcing a new Bayonetta spinoff, although maybe not so much, and taking home the award for Best Action Game for Bayonetta, but not giving a peek at The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, which releases a scant, allegedly, 6 months away. Might have been a missed opportunity. Put a grade on it. I give it a B- for Nintendo.
What I was disappointed with is something I caught during one of the sizzle reels that Nintendo was playing of like upcoming game or like games and stuff like that. They had new footage of Tears of the Kingdom in it that I haven't seen before.
Right.
And I was like, really? You're just going to kind of cram it in here with Splatoon 3 and this other crap? It was kind of disappointing. I didn't really feel like they had much of a presence at all at this award. It was cool to see. It was cool to see Bowser there though, accepting awards and stuff like that.
Wow.
Which was fun. I think this is a C, just average.
C. Okay.
Yeah.
Sony. Well, Sony did not put a great deal first party might into the show. Aside from having the Horizon DLC, they let their second party and timed exclusives do a great deal of the heavy lifting. Final Fantasy 16 and Death Stranding 2 got big pops. And while also not exclusives, Tekken and Street Fighter are going to find the majority of their audience on Sony hardware due to the Evo fighting scene, which also looked good for Sony. But as the award show goes, this functioned very much as a victory lap for God of War Ragnarok, which took home multiple awards on the night. And I would add, Sony owns 15% of From Software.
Yep.
So Elden Ring, obviously multi-platform, not a Sony thing, but they're still
going to be getting money back in.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. Also, I mean, it definitely goes. It's worth mentioning Sony's more progressive with putting their stuff on PC, reaching a wider audience. Returnal on PC is going to be huge because that game running at 60 at 4K is going to be really, really something special. So the fact that they're being more lenient about that, I think bodes well for Sony. So I mean, if I had to put a grade on this, I would probably give it an A,
Yeah.
just a straight A.
Yeah, I
I feel
had
like
A
they put a lot of
minus.
money into this show because it was a lot of Sony stuff,
Yeah.
whether it was DLC announcements or even like the commercials and stuff like that. It was a lot of Sony. So I feel like they got their point across. I'd give it an A.
Yeah, I gave it an A minus just because I wanted one more, even if it's just show us a little bit of Spider-Man 2, because we don't know what's next. Like we just don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Xbox, aside from winning the games for Impact Award, Xbox was largely missing from the VGAs, lacking serious nominations from the awards and not having any announcements was not a good look for the mega publisher trying to work its way up the food chain. Some theorize that with the FTC, CMA, and the UK Trade Commission looking by closely, Microsoft chose to lay low. And a statement after the show from the publisher saying that they're excited about what they have to show in the future possibly reinforces that theory. But not having anything to show to get the fan base excited on one of the biggest nights in gaming as an Xbox fan has to be a disappointment.
Yeah, it was disappointing. You got to show something. You got to put something out there to be judged. Also, not long after the Game Awards, they announced they were defending their price hike on their games, going to $70, and it's like it's not the best look.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing I can really recall off the top of my head that they showed was like some sizzle reel Game Pass stuff.
Yeah.
And that was it. And everybody knows what Game Pass is now. Like you don't have to advertise that anymore. If you're a video game person, you know what Game Pass is. Yep. So yeah, I mean, I agree with that wholeheartedly. It was a miss. I don't even know if you can put a grade on it. There was nothing to grade.
Yeah, it's like incomplete or it's just a straight F.
Yeah, you didn't try.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like surely to God, they've got 23 studios, not including whether this Activision thing gets done or not.
Right.
Surely somebody's got something to show.
Yeah, a trailer, an indie game, anything. And it was nothing.
Where was Indiana Jones?
Yeah.
Where was Fable? We know Fable's a new entry into the Fable being worked on. Anything.
Even if it's cinematic Forza, they've been working on Forza now. I mean, just even if it's your yearly release, put something out there.
Yeah, it wasn't a good look.
No, it was not.
All right, we will start wrapping this up here. Few games that I think we're missing in action, and we already touched on a couple of them with Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, Hogwarts Legacy, Starfield. Where the hell is Starfield?
Microsoft has to be their ace in the hole. They're probably keeping that for their own show for whenever that is. So yeah, that's my only thing for that. It has to be.
Alan Wake 2, Spider-Man 2, Dead Space, isn't it? Like
right around the corner. Dead Space is 2 months.
I think it's this month.
No, that was a Callisto Protocol.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. Dead Space remake release date is
February.
Yeah, January 27th.
January.
You would think that they'd want to put something
out.
Yeah.
Start hopping up some PR for that.
Yep. Indiana Jones was another one. Before we go into the kind of the lightning round thing, I did want to regroup briefly and talk about some of these release dates.
Okay.
Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, May 26th. Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, May 12th. Street Fighter, June 2nd. Diablo 4, June 6th. Final Fantasy 16, June 22nd.
So
a lot of beef in about a 1 month period.
Somebody's falling out of that. I think it's going to be your Suicide Squad is going to fall out of that. I don't think they're going to make that release date. I say that. And I don't think Diablo will make it either. No, I mean, it's hopeful. I wish they would, but I don't think they'll make that either. I mean, do you think any of those are going to fall out? There's no way. There's no way they're all going to hold their own.
I don't think Suicide Squad is going to fall out. I don't think Diablo has a chance in hell of releasing on the 6th of June.
What about Final Fantasy? You think Final Fantasy hits it?
You know what? Segue. Let's do some hack and slash lightning rounds.
Ooh.
Questions. More likely to hit its release date, Final Fantasy 16 or Diablo 4?
I'm going back and forth. I'm such a bastard.
You're not allowed to
Well,
push.
Diablo 4 is already touting like a pre-release beta if you pre-order the game and stuff like that. So they got to feel pretty confident that they're going to hit that release date. So I would say Diablo is more likely to hit the release date, even though I'm not confident with either one.
No, neither one. One of them definitely is. I'm going to say Diablo is going to get the bump. And I do think this is going to sound weird, but I do think that because Diablo is primarily a PC game, I think that they can probably what's the word I'm looking for? Sustain a bump to the fall more so than Final Fantasy can, because the fall is just going to be just as crowded as the spring and early summer is. And so I think right now, looking at this, June 22nd, Zelda is, I think I said May 12th. I think that gives you enough buffer time between Zelda that Final Fantasy is going to be king shit for the summer. But then when you get into fall and you're talking about, well, there's not going to be a Call of Duty game next year, huh?
No, I don't think so.
So that's going to be very interesting to see how the fall plays out. But I think that they would really, 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 really like to hit that date. I think that Diablo 4 not hitting that date wouldn't be as big of a deal. The other thing there is, I mean, it's been 10 years.
Yeah.
What's another couple months?
Right. I mean, yeah, if you want to say it like that, asshole.
Better Metacritic score, Street Fighter or Tekken?
I'm going to say Street Fighter.
Yeah.
It is worth noting though that Tekken 7 passed. This was just announced today, as of this recording. 10 million units sold for Tekken 7, which is
that's a lot for
a fighting game.
That's a lot.
That is a huge deal. So I think Metacritic will probably be Street Fighter, but I bet Tekken will probably have much more longevity because Tekken 7's been supported.
Yeah, so Street Fighter 5 though.
Huh?
Street Fighter 5 has though too as well.
But that was not well received.
Okay, fair enough. Over under 2.5 months before a major Xbox showcase.
So what does that put us? Middle February?
Yeah.
No, I don't think. I'll go ahead. I don't think we'll get a major showcase from anybody until March.
When's PSVR release?
February.
Yeah. I'm going to take the under on PlayStation then.
I think
there will be another state of play for VR.
Would you call a PSVR exclusive state of play a major state of play?
Yeah, it's releasing a hardware.
Yeah, I mean, nobody cares about but me.
I care about it. I just don't have the liquid funds for it.
It's a lot.
It is a lot.
It is as much as the console.
Yeah, but you get the things, right?
And also you play 3 games on it.
Don't buy it then.
I know. That's what I go back and forth with, man. Help me out here. God.
I'm sure that we'll get another 38-second direct on like the Mario movie. We'll probably get a decent sized direct on Zelda and whatever. I'm sure there's some Harvest Moons that they need to show off, but I think that we'll get a state of play before February. Well, I'll tell you what, I think we'll get a state of play before February that'll be VR focused. Mm-hmm. And then early March to mid-March, we will get a big blowout state of play, like
a big 30-minute kind of this like they do just one after another.
Here's Spider-Man, here's
Wolverine,
here's MLB The Show,
right?
Here's whatever else, and now
here's the anime for The Last of Us.
Hopefully, here's
we can only hope.
Yeah, if I could get an anime and a regular cartoon, and a comic book series, we're getting the movie or the HBO series.
Just stop. Don't do it. Don't speak those words because it makes them real. When you keep them up here in your meat space, don't just leave it there.
Stage play off Broadway. Maybe we can make it a musical.
Stop
with Pearl Jam. One game shown you think will exceed expectations?
Exceed expectation. Lords of the Fallen.
Not the Lords of the Fallen.
Shut up.
Just the regular Lords of the Fallen.
You know what I mean? Yeah, probably Lords of the Fallen. That or something we actually didn't touch on, the new Remnant game.
Remnant.
Yeah. Remnant from the Ashes was free on practically everything like Lords of the Fallen was. It's kind of like a roguelike third-person shooter. And
genres
I know, roll your eyes. I love it.
It's just there's so many genres involved.
Yeah. So Remnant looked very good too. So that's probably something that we'll probably do a little bit better than expectations.
I think that I will take the easy way out and say that I think that a game that will exceed expectations is Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League.
That's low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, it's a gimme. It's like picking in a predictions for the Game Awards, Kojima will say something.
Do you think people listen to us for our generic cookie cutter answers? No, they want the hard-hitting hot takes.
Okay. What one game will exceed expectations? Warhammer 40,000.
I'll take that.
Actually,
I'll take that 40.
Crime Boss, Rockaway City. That's my pick. 505 Studios. What's one thing that will be shown that will not meet expectations?
Suicide Squad.
For a generic cookie cutter responses.
Will not meet expectations. Probably the Dune game that was shown.
Oh, woof.
Yeah, the Dune MMO game.
Oh God, isn't it on mobile too? It's like a mobile MMO.
It's something like that. I love Dune, but it's just,
yeah.
I'm
gonna go with Diablo. I don't think that it will, because it's gonna be broken. Because it's Diablo.
That's all right. That's all right. If Diablo 4 sucks, it just makes the waiting for Path of Exile 2 even better.
Favorite moment of the show? I have a feeling it's the same for both of us.
Okay, I'll go a little bit off the cuff here.
Okay,
it's the guy at the end thinking.
Oh God, yeah.
Thinking of
Rabbi
Orthodox Rabbi Bill Clinton, Reformed Orthodox Rabbi Bill Clinton.
Fuck.
And you got Miyazaki standing there like,
yeah. I loved there's an article on this, and I'm like looking through the comments because people are so goddamn stupid. And somebody's like, hey, at least he waited until they were done.
Yeah, like, what a guy. What a gentleman.
What do you mean he got arrested? It's like, what if he had a shank?
Yeah, he definitely got arrested.
Oh my.
Also, it looks like his suit was like 4 times too big for him.
It looked like his dad's pea coat. Or maybe his mom's pea coat. He was a little fella.
Yeah, I don't get it. Apparently, he's somebody in the know.
Yeah,
he's a TikToker or something. I don't know.
Sure.
Yeah,
he looked like a Tic Tac. I think mine, without question, was Al Pacino at the beginning, not knowing where the hell he was, what the hell he was doing. Who the hell was
he couldn't read the teleprompter. Apparently, there was a few people who had teleprompter issues. Like it was a mile away.
He was curling the award like it weighed like it was a 25-pound dumbbell, and then he had to awkwardly stand behind
Oh
Chris
my
Judge
God. I didn't
for
even
the
think about that.
longest speech in the history of speech. He might still be fucking talking.
I mean, I like Chris Judge. If they
Yeah.
ever did a live action God of War, he better be Kratos.
Yeah, I would hope so.
Yeah. So yeah, but that long speech was
Oh my
like I
goodness.
got up and made me a snack, sat back down, got up and made me a drink.
Yeah.
I was hearing
Red
him
War and
talking in
Peace.
the background. Just it was cringy for me. Like I just wanted it to be over.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just like, yeah, like you said, got a drink, made a sandwich, read Moby Dick, front
Right.
cover to
Right.
cover.
Right.
But
Transcribed War and Peace.
yeah, yeah.
It was bad, but
Ooh.
overall, it was a great show.
Yeah, overall, very good show. I think is a good I think it was a nice cap to really outside of a handful of games was an otherwise pretty weak year in gaming. I think you had a couple of bangers. You had Elden Ring. You had Ragnarok.
I think this is your fizzle out from COVID this year. Like the end of this year, you started seeing better games, and then 2023 is really where it's going to take off.
Yeah, 2023 is very busy. I think that was illustrated.
Yeah.
But I think the fact that Stray was nominated for best game of the year, which no disrespect to, that team, and this was their first outing and the game itself, but game of the year.
It would have made more sense for Modern Warfare to be there. Except for Stray. Just, it was so out of place. And I felt bad. Like, it was just, there was not a chance in hell that was going to happen. I will say for the awards, back and forth between God of War and Elden Ring, I think it worked out pretty much ideally. God of War won the bulk of the thing, of the awards, and then Elden Ring won the biggest one.
Yeah, Elden Ring won a couple other ones too.
I mean, yeah, Elden Ring won a couple, but it seemed like God of War was everywhere.
Yeah, it was.
So
go ahead.
Also, I really like the symphony that they do during the show.
Oh, always.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good.
Well, they didn't have that the last couple because they were virtual, right?
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always awesome. And I will even say, like, we joked about his speech and everything, but when Al fucking Pacino, I won't get over that. Well, I even said there's always some weird celebrity. They don't know where they are, why they're there. I didn't think Al Pacino was the pool, Michael Corleone.
Over under 30 seconds in his entire life that he's held a video game controller.
Under.
Yeah, way under. Way under. Is there
way
negative
under.
time?
Yeah. But when the symphony cut in with the God of War music, I was like, yeah, that's pretty dope, actually.
I still thought Elden Ring should have won Best Music. I know.
To each his own. You can catch us probably like every other week on the BXG Gamescast and over on the YouTubes and the social medias, BXG Productions for all of that. Alpha Donut Guy, X Devolver X on just Twitter, but don't expect any actual engagement.
I don't like commitment.
Yeah.
That's all you got for me? I don't like commitment. You're just like, yeah, you're supposed to back me up. No, bro, you're good.
I agree.
That hurts.
I was left so many times in the dunes, the Valkyrie dunes.
Where's my tank at?
Yeah, I needed him.
I know.
I needed my warrior / ninja. Take care. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Enjoy. Be a friend. Tell a friend.
That's right.
Namaste.
We'll hit you back next time.
Yep.